Turkey Man, what's going on, bro?
Hey, everybody.
Hey. It's
before
been
I forget it,
yeah.
Hope you guys have a Merry Christmas.
Absolutely. Hope all of our
Everybody
subscribers have a Merry Christmas.
Absolutely.
Where are we at subscriber-wise? Are we 300-400 now? I can't remember.
Last count I had was like 407.
407? My goodness, we got 400 people that actually want to.
Not hardly a year.
Yeah, in a year, that's huge. So we're so grateful and thankful to you guys. We're going to get this Off the Tailgate running, and then we're also going to get hit back at it and do some regularly weekly videos, some hunting, some fishing, and then try to do some turkey gizzard stuff. But you came here for Off the Tailgate. So let's talk about Tennessee. Let's talk about their draw. They've got Iowa. Let's talk about, you know, Nico. Let's talk about the portal and all these crazy things that have been happening. First of all, what do you think about the draw that Tennessee got? You know, they got what is it? Is it the Music City Bowl again? Where are we going?
We're going to Citrus Bowl.
We're going to the Citrus Bowl.
We're going down to Florida.
We're going down to Florida.
And
oh my gosh!
You know, that'd be a good trip.
That would be a good trip. That would be a good trip if I knew Nico was starting.
Well, you know, that's sad.
I know that's sad.
Because with an opportunity, you nailed it right there, right out of the gate.
Yeah.
I mean, you really did. My feelings, because I was looking at. I've never taken a bowl trip. You know, went, and I was thinking this year. I said, you know, if by chance Nico would have been starting,
bona fide announced starter,
and all these young players, you know, all these older ones either left or went in the portal, but we're gonna have young kids.
Yep.
And a debut in what next year's gonna be, really. And Nico at the helm, opportunity to see that. What a trip that would be.
I think that would be a lot of fun.
I just don't want to go down there and sit and watch the
same thing you've watched all year.
All year.
That's my thing with this. You know, I appreciate what Milton's done. He did this and did that. Thank you for sitting behind Hooker. All the things. Yes, you have to say thank you for being a good teammate. But like I want to see the future, man. You know, and people may say that's terrible. How dare you? You're just a negaval. They've said all of it, but that's not true. I want Tennessee to win. I want Tennessee to be good. You know, Nico hasn't played that much football. I'd like him to get more reps and snaps. I want to see what he's got. So, and I honestly want to see this offense humming. And I know that Milton can't get this offense humming like it needs to do. Now, I think we got an amazing draw with Iowa, because you only have to score 10 points and you're going to win the football game. I mean, Iowa couldn't score to save. I mean, they couldn't score against Alcoa High School. It's crazy.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what we have offensively and defensively, and also in the secondary.
Okay.
The secondary, I think we're going to see some kids that really hadn't had opportunity to play all year. And I think for some reason or another, and I don't know why, but they've been seniors, 6-year players that they stayed behind really and truly, and they didn't deserve it.
Right. I wanted to ask you, and we talked a little bit about this on the phone before this, I want to talk to you about this NIL. This NIL, what's going on? You got all these players leaving, especially a lot of the defensive backs. But then you've also, you know, it's being praised that, and Heupel does need credit, that you get this offensive line to stay. You know, you get Cade Mays staying, you get the 2 tackles staying. Their names are escaping me right now, but you've got the offensive line coming back, so that's a good thing. And then you got this tight end that was in the portal. You got that, so you've got some good things going on. But like, you know, what's going on, and how do you feel about the NIL just in general? You know, with everybody just seemingly switching teams every single year. You know, going to the highest bidder. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it will eventually do away if something's not done.
Okay.
We'll do away with the, we call a VFL.
Yes, thank you. So let's talk about Tyler Barron. Let's talk about that. Let's just dive right into it. So
Well,
he's here 4 years.
4 years.
And then now he's going to Ole Miss.
He's going to go to Ole Miss and take a paycheck. And apparently he wasn't. He knew that here he was not going to get to play the position he wanted to play.
Okay.
He wanted to be the key
edge rusher.
And you know, we had young talent.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the reason you recruit for that. But again, the VFL, which they started that program for all the players that has come through the University of Tennessee, graduated. There's something that goes with that. By if you are part of the system, then you can network yourself afterwards. Means a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. It helps.
You know,
there's some people that have done careers in media, like Swain and Eric Ainge and things like that. But there's also people behind the scenes that have been able to start businesses and be taken care of by the community just for being a football player. Daniel Hood Roofing, you know, there's people, there's
Exactly.
so many Vols that are taken care of by the university and the community because of their Vol for Life status, their VFL. They played here. They gave their all for Tennessee.
And I see, you know, they're talking about our recruiting of young players and building them up in the system. Well, then what's going to happen? Or is it going to, after they reach a certain level, what would happen to Jalen Hyatt?
Yeah.
What he left early, but let's say he didn't get the score and didn't score as high as he did draft wise, and if something happened that he didn't get drafted or returned back, was he going to leave and go somewhere else?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Was that going to cause him to? So we're losing that's part of college. You still have to.
You're losing that, like, hey, that's, you know, those college players that stay around for their junior and senior year. You know, they're not necessarily good enough to go to the NFL, but you know, you're like, hey, we've still got great, you know, depth at that. Now you have to worry about that person going to Ole Miss, going to Auburn, you know, getting outbid. And what I was wanting to tell you is, a lot of people are complaining about, or saying that we can't complain, that you can't complain, Steve, unless you give money to the NIL system. Then you can complain. Or it's that, you know, it's that pay to be a fan thing. And I'm just so sick and tired of that attitude that you know, you're not a real fan unless you pay. You're not a real fan unless you go to football games. You're not a real fan unless you buy tickets or buy a shirt and all that. I'm just so sick and tired of that. That, you know, the more money that you give, then the bigger the fan you are. You know, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I know how much that I give to the church.
Mm-hmm.
I know as a believer what's required of us that to give.
Okay.
Our money is not our money, and I also know that you know, I don't keep up with what and look at somebody and say, well, you're not a believer. You can't, you know, if you don't give, that's between you and the Lord. I'm a college fan, and a college fan is a student, and a student has to maintain a certain grade level to be a student. And if you're going to be a student and go to college, then you get scholarships to enable you to be able to get free education, or you're going to pay for it. And as we see, and we've done in our Turkey Gazette, how many people are trying to pay back, and how
Yes.
strenuous with that is on family, but you're getting it paid for. Now I believe that a person needs to be recognized and able to make money for their talents, to help them through, especially the ones that stand out, like well, I think of Johnny Manziel.
Okay.
He was Johnny Football.
Yeah, Johnny Football.
And they wouldn't allow him to do that. Well, that was wrong. He should be able to make money off of that. They ought to be able to get back up. But I feel like when you open up and you pay like you do,
right,
then you're taking away why college is. And I feel like that.
I get what you're saying. You're taking the heart and soul out of.
Well, you look at baseball.
Okay, you
look at baseball, and we look at a program there that if they want to go be drafted,
right, then
they can get in farm league, and if you want to be one and done in basketball,
you can do that.
So I feel like that they need to have a direction that, not everybody. And they're going to be people get mad at me at this, but it's true. Not everybody's built to go to college.
No.
And that's what it
isn't to go to college.
And if you don't maintain your academics, then guess what's going to happen? You ain't going to play, and because that's what it's about. That's
right. I see what you're saying. There are a lot of people that say, just give me a football player. I don't care about academics.
Well, that be said the same, but what you need to have is equal direction.
Okay.
I think if just because that you go to this school to be a lawyer or whatever, hey, you ought to be able, if you go there and you want to play sports, you ought to have an opportunity to play it. But again, you're going there for the education.
Right. I see what you're saying.
And so that's where we're missing the boat. I feel like you ought to be compensated and able to live and not payday.
Right.
But also you're going there for more than just say. I remember one of my favorite of all times is Tony Robinson.
Okay.
He knee blowed
before
out.
my time, but yes.
It was 1985. Blowed his knee out, Alabama game, and he was ruined.
Okay.
And of course, then he had a life took over, and it didn't go well for him. But
right.
But he really was so talented. But he got injured, and that ended it for him. We see so many. My buddy Swain, he got a story to tell.
Yeah.
I mean, injury kept him from. Heath Schuler. Heath Schuler, he had to quit. It didn't work out good for him because of injury.
Right.
And that's part of that. But there's that education allows. I mean, Josh Dobbs, if he does not make it,
he's still very smart.
Guess what? He's going to be an engineer. He's going to be a rocket science. He would excel in that field.
Excel in that field. That's right.
That's what we're missing the point here.
Right.
Why do you go to school? Why are you going there?
Well, here's the thing. There would be a lot of people in certain communities that would say, I'm not very smart. My kid's not very smart. Football is the only thing they've got going for them. Now, I think that's sad. I think that anybody can learn and do better and try in school, but I don't like putting all my eggs in that football basket. Because of what you just said with Swain, what you just said with Heath Schuler and Tony Robinson. You get injured, you're done. You're toast.
Yes.
And it's so easy to get injured. I mean, it's so easy to get your career done, just done.
But all of those, Heath Schuler, he's been a congressman. He's had a really good life and networked himself. Guess what? Because he graduated, he come back and got his education. His kid is still over there. There's legacy there, and that is huge.
That's right.
That is big. That's why that they're having an opportunity to have this NIL money wise because of the VFL, and you're losing the VFL because they're not going to graduate from there.
No, I agree. I agree with you. I think that's it for our turkey gizzard. I think we're going to wrap it up with that. Not our turkey gizzard, excuse me, the Off the Tailgate. We're going to wrap it up with that. We should be here for you after the football game. It's going to be, when's that? It's going to be Monday at 1 o'clock. That's January the 1st. So,
what do you think about recruiting?
I don't know. We'll have to see tomorrow. Or is it tomorrow's the big day?
That's when they sign.
So we'll see what happens. We'll see how we do, and we'll talk about that on the next Off the Tailgate. Again, we appreciate all our subs. Just absolutely just appreciate you guys. This is Tcarp signing out. Turkey Man, give us